Let's do it. Let's do. What's the first topic?
What you tell me what the first topic is? Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. What?
How the fight's gonna happen?
Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul 2 is confirmed for December 18th, 2021. So
2022.
2020, no, 21 this year.
Oh, sorry, because you said February. That's why.
Yeah. So the fight is happening. I made a short once the news came out, or like even the rumor from our boy Keemstar. Let's
get right.
So once the news came out,
yeah,
I went and I made a short about the fight getting canceled. Initially, it didn't get too many views, but it eventually got like 1,000 views on shorts.
Much.
It's better than nothing.
Maybe.
Actually, it took me like 20 minutes to make it.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
for 1,000 views. Yeah.
So as I was editing it, he posted a video like actually confirming like, oh, he pulled out and I'm facing Tyron Woodley too.
How do you feel about the whole situation? And like what Tyson Fury said about how he beat Jake Paul with a broken rib and a broken arm. He was obviously trolling.
That's just banter.
That's
just banter. Yeah, it happens. Like people get injured all the time. So he has a chest infection, I think, or something with his chest
and a rib
and hurt ribs. So I get what Jake Paul is saying. He's like, oh, this guy talked all that garbage, and this is just an excuse, and he's not actually sick, and I don't even want to give him a fight in the future. But like, that fight's probably gonna happen eventually. So? Yeah,
if he beats Woodley, I mean, who else would be left? Fury
I'm sure he can find different fights, right? And he can generate not popular.
Jake Paul, Ben Askren too.
Yeah, why not? Like honestly, no, he can honestly just make up fights wherever he pleases, Jake right? Paul there's a lot out there. I haven't made the short yet, but I want to make short about Jake versus Nate Diaz.
How about Jake Paul Triple G?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, if their contracts allow them. Right? Why not? Because I think Jake Paul's signed to Showtime, right?
Yeah.
With a multiple fight deal.
That's not gonna be a fun fight for Jake Paul.
So I think the Tommy Fury fight will happen. Maybe sometime next year. Maybe February. Maybe that's too soon. Maybe Jake Paul wants to take some time.
How long ago was the Woodley one? Was that August?
I don't remember.
I think it was August I think it was August.
It wasn't too long ago. So the Tyron Woodley fight, after it happened, I was like, I don't think Tyron Woodley is gonna get another fight. Like, especially with him not doing that tattoo thing. I was like, even if he does it,
right?
huh?
Yeah, but like he had it done, right?
He did it, but it was like after everything trended, like everything went away. Like I remember, Jake Paul said something. It was like, imagine if the next day or the same night he got that tattoo. The fight or the rematch would have been even bigger, right? Because like he actually did it, all that kind of stuff. But he did it months after, not months. He did it a long time after.
But I think like what's hindering this rematch is that the first fight was canceled, right? Now this is kind of like the backup fight, so like it won't trend as much as the other one, like as a Fury fight, right? So
yeah, but at the same time, like there's a lot that's already built into this fight, right? A lot of people already saw the first fight.
Was there going to be a rematch?
There's time. I don't think maybe you never know with him, because he's not necessarily like a traditional boxer, right? Yeah. Where he goes through the rankings and stuff like that. He's like really picking and choosing and different storylines.
Like he's
I
not.
I don't think so.
Like in the rankings of the.
I don't think so. I don't know.
IBF or anything like that. No.
I doubt it. But I didn't think the rematch will ever happen or anytime soon. But it happened, and Tyron Woodley was training and took the offer, right? It's for him to take it on this short notice is
crazy.
Yeah, it's good for him. I guess he was planning to be the backup, or maybe they already had a discussion
that he would be the
substitute, because even with like in the UFC, with the big fights, there's always somebody waiting in the wings, right, as a backup. Not necessarily yeah, not necessarily all the way until like weigh-ins. Like we've seen that for like Michael Chandler cutting weight and making weight and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, make weight, go home.
Yeah, we don't see that all the time, but we do see situations where there's like a backup that's gonna come that would replace a hurt fighter, say like a week or 2 weeks or a month
So can I ask you a
away.
question? Let's say if it was Poirier, Charles Oliveira,
Yeah.
and let's say that day of,
Day
Poirier
of,
had to pull
no.
out.
Yeah.
Would they? They fill somebody in? If it was day of?
Maybe. It depends because that's what happened with the Khabib fight, right? It was not the day of. I think it was like the day before where Thing pulled out. Tony Ferguson pulled out,
Yeah.
right? The knee
It
situation.
was the
And
day
then
before.
it wasn't that much time.
Oh yeah, it was the same night where they had Holloway and then they had Alaquenta, right? Like,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
all the
yeah,
same
yeah.
day, I remember that,
It was,
okay.
yeah, it was like a small time frame, right?
Yeah.
So then they did that, and there was issues with the weight and the commissions, and eventually Ali Quinta got that spot and fought.
my
So
real estate agent, it's my boy.
if you ever need a house in
Ali
New
Quinta,
York, in the
it's the
state of
guy.
New York, so there's opportunity. There was an opportunity, and Tyron Woodley took it, and good for him. He was training and stuff like that. Do you want to go into fight predictions in this
I
one, or
think we
just
have to.
in this video?
I think we should.
Because it goes deep. So the first fight, I was a big proponent for Tyron Woodley. I said, you know what?
Almost too big of a proponent.
Forget this whole winning. I
Every
said,
single video.
I
That's
mean,
why Woodley will knock him out with a right overhand.
yeah, I went into detail because I said, you know what? Forget all these other fights that he's lost. Right, these last 4 or 5 fights. This MMA. He lost the love for that sport. He tried different things. It just didn't work out. That doesn't take away his skills and his abilities and what he's done and what he can do. And I thought, based off of the footage that you had from Jake Paul, there was openings, and those openings did show up in the fight between the two. It was just Tyron Woodley really didn't capitalize on any of them. The only time that he really had success was when he
Against the ropes.
yeah, he got him against the ropes. But other than that, he didn't let his hands fly. He really threw single shots, and even then he didn't.
He was so cannon shy. It's like when he was trying to fight against the ropes, he would like measure it,
Yeah.
and then maybe throw one punch.
So a lot of
Right.
that has to do with inexperience with boxing, right? Because you just need time in the ring to learn those kind of stuff and
Yeah.
get used to them. But as well, I feel that psychologically he was in that fight trying not to lose to Jake Paul. He did not want to get knocked out by Jake Paul, right? That him.
Was he wobbled in that fight? Was he?
No,
I don't
not
think he
really.
was, right?
But the idea of potentially getting knocked out also kind of prevented him, in my opinion, from taking it a step further, because he was so concerned. Like, if I overcommit, if I throw a 3-punch combo, right, I might get caught by him,
Yeah.
and that's worse than losing a decision.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, he also might be thinking, I'm winning this fight.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what he kind of felt at the end too. He's like,
But
"Oh,
to
I
be
won
fair,
fight."
like it wasn't like that far off of like him
What?
winning, right? Like yeah, he was losing, but I wouldn't.
He
say
lost, but it wasn't like a
But
dominant
would- yeah,
performance.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's the thing, right? So I guess from his point of view, he might have thought that.
Yeah,
he had a
but
chance.
at the same time, if he goes into the second fight with that same mentality,
He'll
he's going to
even
lose
worse.
again.
Yeah.
He's going to lose again. So I still feel like Jake Paul is learning, and he's getting better, and he's fixing his
training hard,
diet
man.
and all
He's
that kind of
training
stuff.
hard.
He's training very hard. But those openings, I feel like those openings will still be there.
But why do you think so though? Did you like?
It's hard to fix those things in what, 6 months. It's you can't completely change. Like, I know he is so early in his career where you make huge leaps and bounds,
Yeah.
but those opportunities are still there.
Yeah.
And he has the opportunity to capitalize on them. I don't know if he's going to, though, because I didn't want to buy into this whole like Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley is going to be Tyron Woodley, where he sits back and he waits, and he's on this big losing streak. He lost that fire, all that kind of stuff. And like now, I didn't want to buy into that the first one, because I was like, you know what, give him a clean slate.
Yeah.
But now in the second fight, that thing kind of comes into play.
Yeah.
I'm not as confident, not even close to as confident as I was in the first fight.
Yeah, honestly, but like we saw him though when he did land, he did wobble Jake with the right overhand, right?
So he had success, right? And he had success exactly where Jake Paul is the weakest, right? Where Jake Paul is going backwards, where he's not dictating the forward pace.
Yeah.
So like one of the like even you train in boxing, like one of the hardest things is to fight going backwards,
yeah.
right? Because like the guy that's coming forward is dictating exactly where you're going. He cuts off the cage, all that kind of stuff. Like even you'll see at the highest level for like Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier. Well, I don't know if we're talking about that, but a big thing was in that fight was the forward pressure by Charles Oliveira. Yeah. It's very hard to fight when a guy's pressuring you over and over and over again. Another one like Khabib, right? Like the way that he beat Justin Gaethje was that forward pressure. It's a dangerous game, but
and he was caught. He was caught with a right left hook.
He got hit hard, but it didn't really do anything to him.
Yeah,
right? Because for whatever reason, but in this Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley matchup, I would want him to do is first of all go to our channel and watch that video where I went over some of the clips. Maybe we'll put an annotation to it on this video, but and see like there's actual opportunity for Jake Paul to get hurt, and it's just a matter of will Tyron do it. I don't know. I can't put. I don't have much confidence.
Well, I think there's a safe bet to say that I think Jake Paul wins this fight.
Safe bet would be Jake Paul.
Was he also the favorite in the first fight? He was, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't remember.
I wouldn't bet against him.
You would?
Win. I wouldn't like to.
Yeah. Because he's also coming in with actual like a very long boxing camp. They're coming with a game plan. They've drilled specific things. They know what to do and what not to do. So Tyron Woodley, on the other hand, it's after a certain age, it's hard to retrain how fighters fight.
Yeah.
The guy is like now. I think he's 40, right? He was 39 before. I don't know. I'm sure he's 40 now. It's hard to rewire how he fights and how he's programmed. And like he kind of tried to change it against Vicente Luque, where he just went forward and he clipped Luque a couple times. But after that fight, he kind of shied away from it.
Yeah.
Right. So